Megalodon Media News. We give you all the news nobody is talking about.
That they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You've got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the pastors are doing. That's what the pastors are doing all over the world.
Fred Hampton, born on August 30, 1948, and passing on December 4, 1969, was an activist for the NAACP and the Black Panther Party. At the young age of 21, Hampton was fatally shot alongside a fellow activist during a law enforcement raid. Activists and the broader black community considered the deaths of these men unjust, and their families ultimately received a settlement stemming from a civil lawsuit. Today, Hampton is widely remembered as a martyr for the cause of black liberation. Fast facts: Fred Hampton, known for Black Panther Party activist who was in a law enforcement raid, born August 30, 1948 in Summit, Illinois. Parents, Francis Allen Hampton and Iberia Hampton. Died December 4, 1969 in Chicago, Illinois. Education, YMCA Community College, Triton College, Children Fred Hampton Jr. Notable quote: "We always say in the Black Panther Party they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail, I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you'll remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary."
A revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Early years. Fred Hampton was born on August 30, 1948 in Summit, Illinois. His parents, Francis Allen Hampton and Iberia Hampton, were Louisiana natives who relocated to Chicago. As a youth, Fred excelled in sports and dreamed of playing baseball for the New York Yankees. However, he also excelled in the classroom. Hampton ultimately attended Triton College, where he studied pre-law in hopes of helping people of color fight back against police brutality. As a teen, Hampton became involved in civil rights by leading a local NAACP youth council. He helped to grow the council's membership to more than 500 members. Hampton had success with the NAACP, but the radicalism of the Black Panther Party resonated with him even more. The BPP had successfully launched a free breakfast program to feed children in a number of cities. The group also advocated for self-defense rather than non-violence and took a global perspective on the black freedom struggle, finding inspiration in Maoism. A skilled speaker and organizer, Hampton quickly moved through the ranks of the BPP. He became the leader of Chicago's BPP branch, then the chairman of the Illinois BPP, and finally the deputy chair of the national BPP. He engaged in grassroots activism, working as an organizer, a peacemaker, and taking part in the BPP's free breakfast program and People's Medical Clinic. From the 1950s until the 1970s, the FBI's counterintelligence program, known as COINTELPRO, targeted leaders of activist organizations like Fred Hampton. The program served to undermine, infiltrate, and spread misinformation, often through extrajudicial means, about political groups and the activists who belonged to them. COINTELPRO targeted civil rights leaders such as the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., as well as radical groups like the Black Panther Party, the American Indian Movement, and the Young Lords. As Hampton's influence in the Black Panthers grew, the FBI began to focus on his activities, opening a file on him in 1967. The FBI enlisted a man named William O'Neill to infiltrate and sabotage the Black Panther Party. O'Neill, who had been previously arrested for car theft and impersonating a federal officer, agreed to the task because the federal agency promised to drop the felony charges against him. O'Neill quickly gained access to Hampton by becoming both his bodyguard and a security director in Hampton's Black Panther Party chapter. Sowing discord in the community wasn't the only way O'Neill attempted to undermine Hampton. He also played a direct role in his killing. On December 3, 1969, O'Neill secretly drugged Hampton by putting a sleeping pill into his drink. Shortly afterward, law enforcement agents initiated an early morning raid on Hampton's apartment. Despite not having a warrant for weapons charges, they entered the apartment with guns firing. They mortally wounded Mark Clark, who was guarding Hampton. Hampton and his fiancée, Deborah Johnson, also called Akua and Jerry, were asleep in their bedroom. They had been wounded, but survived the gunfire. When an officer realized that Hampton hadn't been killed, he proceeded to shoot the activist twice in the head. Johnson, who was expecting a child with Hampton, was not killed. The other 7 Black Panthers present in the apartment were charged with several serious crimes, including attempted murder, armed violence, and multiple weapons charges. However, when a Department of Justice investigation revealed that Chicago police had fired up to 99 shots, and the Panthers had only fired once, the charges were dropped. Activists considered the killing of Hampton to be an assassination. When the FBI's Pennsylvania field office was broken into not long after, the COINTELPRO files found included a floor plan of Hampton's apartment and documents that mentioned covering up the FBI's part in Hampton's killing. The family members of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark sued the Chicago Police, Cook County, and the FBI for $47.7 million in 1970 for wrongfully killing the men. That case was thrown out, but a new case took place in 1979 after officials concluded that the law enforcement agencies involved had obstructed justice and refused to hand over relevant paperwork related to the killings. 3 years later, the families of Hampton and Clark learned that they would receive a $1.85 million settlement from the local and federal agencies responsible for the men's deaths. Although that sum was far less than what they'd sought, the settlement was an acknowledgement to a degree of wrongdoing. Had the Chicago police not killed Fred Hampton, he would have been named Chief of Staff of the Black Panther Party's Central Committee, making him a key spokesman for the group. Hampton never got that opportunity, but he has not been forgotten. Soon after his death, the BPP filmed an investigation of his apartment, which police did not close off. The footage captured is seen in the 1971 documentary, The Murder of Fred Hampton. An estimated 5,000 mourners turned up to Hampton's funeral, during which the activist was remembered by civil rights leaders such as the Reverend Jesse Jackson and Ralph Abernathy. Although activists Roy Wilkins and Ramsey Clark characterized Hampton's killing as unjustified, none of the officers or officials involved in the raid were convicted of wrongdoing. A number of writers, rappers, and musicians have referred to Fred Hampton in their writings or lyrics. The group Rage Against the Machine famously mentions the activist in its 1996 hit, Down Rodeo, in which frontman Zach De La Rocha declares, "They aren't going to send us camping like they did my man Fred Hampton." In the city of Chicago, December 4th is Fred Hampton Day. A public pool in Maywood, Illinois, where Hampton grew up, bears his name. A bust of Hampton sits outside the Fred Hampton Family Aquatic Center. Hampton, like other political activists, seemed keenly aware that his work would put his life in jeopardy. However, while he was alive, he expressed confidence in his own legacy. We always say in the Black Panther Party that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you'll remember, I said, with the last words on my lips, that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletariat. I am the people.
You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs.
The FBI began COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, in 1956 to disrupt the activities of the Communist Party of the United States. In the 1960s, it was expanded to include a number of other domestic groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, the Socialist Workers' Party, and the Black Panther Party. All COINTELPRO operations were ended in 1971. Although limited in scope, about 0.2% of the FBI's workload over a 15-year period, COINTELPRO was later rightfully criticized by Congress and the American people for abridging First Amendment rights and for other reasons.
Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. You feeling all the news and you loving the vibe? Like and subscribe. Go ahead and like and subscribe.
It's the Megalodon.
Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. You feeling all the news and you loving the vibe? Like and subscribe. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. Megalodon Media, like and subscribe. You feeling all the news and you loving the vibe? Like and subscribe.